Good day, everyone. I am President Diparan.
And I am Jurhaya C. Hashim.
Today, we will be discussing about physical development of high school learners. But before that, we will start what is our learning outcomes. So, at the end of this module, you should be able to describe the physical and sexual changes accompanying poverty,
Identify the psychological consequences of early and late physical maturation in adolescence,
identify factors that enhance, impediment, the socio-emotional development of adolescents,
and identify causes of possible habit disorders and ways of coping with them,
present an abstract of recent research related to the physical development of adolescents,
and lastly, draw implication of these physical development concepts to high school teaching, learning and parenting.
so our abstraction is defining adolescence. Adolescence is a period of transition in terms of physical, cognitive, and socio-emotional changes. The period of adolescence being with the biological changes of puberty. The specific ages for this period vary from person to person, but first, early adolescence characterized by poverty may come at the age of 11 and 12. Second, middle adolescence may meet identity issue with the age of 14 and 16. And lastly, late adolescence marks the transition into adulthood at age 17 and 20.
So in this module, it is focusing on physical development with puberty, marking the major transition manifested by changes in 1. Physical appearance, 2. Rapid rate of rapid rate of growth, which is next to the speed of growth of the fetus in the uterus, known as growth spurts, and 3. Resultant feeling of awkwardness and unfamiliarity with bodily changes, and 4. Alterations in sleeping habits and parent-adolescent relationship, possibly accompanying puberty.
So, poverty changes will be discussed by Miss Hashim.
So now let us start to our first topic, which is the puberty changes. So during puberty, hormones cause fast growth in height, weight, and body shape. Girls start growing around age 10 and grow fastest at about 11 and a half, reaching almost full height by 16. Boys grow later, starting around 12, peaking at 14 and reaching full height by 17. Most height growth comes from the trunk, not legs. Muscles get bigger and stronger, and the head, face, and reproductive organs also grow. All parts of the body grow together during this time. So puberty changes, sabi dito, hormones make your body grow fast in height, weight, at saka yung shape. And alam naman natin na ang puberty involves physical changes gaya ng growth spurts, development of body hair, at yung changes ng skin at saka yung sweat natin. And then, let's us proceed to the next, which is factors affecting development. So during puberty, hormone changes happen in the brain and body. The brain's pituitary gland releases hormones that tell the ovaries, which is in girls, or testicles in boys, to make sex hormones. So boys produce testosterone and girls produce estrogen. These hormones cause the body to develop and mature sexually. So, sa mga babae, they typically experience breast development and menstruation. o yung tinatawag nating buwanang dalaw na nararanasan ng lahat ng mga babae. While boys pala, they see changes in genitalia, at boys, yung mga boys nila is nagiging change, which is nagiging more deepen pa. And then, napapansin din natin sa lahat ng mga lalaki na nagbabago talaga yung voice nila, which is nagkakaroon sila ng Adam's apple. So, yun. And next is, so, in boys, testosterone causes testicle and penis growth. Ability to ejaculate sperm, voice deepening, gaya nga nung sabi ko kanina, nagiging deepen pa yung voice nila, and also ang facial and pubic hair growth. Di ba, napapansin naman natin na parang meron talagang tumutubo na hair sa mga private part natin. Sometimes nga sa mukha or yun dito, di ba, sa mga boys, is yung tinatawag nating bigote nila. Yun. So, the deepening voice is clear sign of puberty. So, sabi dyan is, yun daw yung sign na ng changes nila or yung puberty ng mga boys is yung tinig talaga nila yung unang na-change, which is nagiging mas malalim pa yung tinig nila. And then in girls naman, estrogen starts breast growth, pubic hair, wider hips, and the first period, which is yung tinatawag nating menstruation. Usually between ages 11 and 13. Some girls start these changes earlier depending on ethnicity. So, sabi dito, yung girls is nagkakaroon na sila ng buwan ng dalaw, which is sa ngayon na generation is nag-start na silang duguin sa age na 11 to 13. Tsaka yung dibdib nila is lumalaki or yung breast growth na tinatawag natin. And also their pubic hair at saka yung nag-change yung shape nila, which is nagwa-wide pa yung hips nila. So yun. And for boys, the first sign of puberty is sperm production, with ejaculation happening during sleep or masturbation. While some religions forbid masturbation, science says it's normal unless it causes problems. So, both genders, 'di ba, nag-undergo talaga ng hormonal and mga emotional changes. So, i-add natin dito yung mga gaya lang ng mood swings, 'di ba? Tsaka yung nag-increase din yung feelings of sensitivity na sa ibang tao. So, yun nga, na-change yung emotions natin. So, next is the secular trend. So, the secular trend means people today grow and mature faster than in the past. In the 18s, 80s. So, girls got their first period around 15 to 17 years old, but now it's about 13 to 14. So, meaning that a secular trend is people today, yung mga ngayon na generation or yung mga tao ngayon is mabilis na silang nag-grow or mabilis silang nagiging mature than before. Kasi nung 18s daw, yung mga babae is nag-start yung menstruation nila around 15 to 17 years old, which is so different na sa ngayon na generation kasi sometimes it's 13 to 14 or 11 to 13 yung age ng mga babae na nagkakaroon ng buwan ng dalaw. So, boys also reach full height earlier than before. So, this change is due to better health, nutrition, and living conditions. The trend is slowing in rich countries but is just starting in poorer ones. So, it is stated that yung mga lalaki is maaga nilang na or maaga nilang nare-reach yung full height nila. Like sa age yata ng 11 to 14, mga ganyang age is talagang nagiging mature na yung height nila, which is tumatangkad na sila, di ba? It is different than before. No? Parang hindi pa ganun katangkad yung height nila. Which is, yun nga, nagbabago. Pagdating ng age nila ng 11 to 14, ganyan. So, next is sexual identity. So, during adolescence, young people explore and form their sexual identity, which includes who they are attracted to and how they feel about sex. So, sexual orientation can be attraction to the opposite sex. Tinatawag nilang heterosexual. Yung same sex is homosexual. Or both bisexual. Yung both daw na gender tinatawag ng bisexual. Some teens feel confusion, especially those who are gay, lesbian, or transgender, as they figure out their identity. This process can be hard because of family culture and society's reaction, and LGBT teens may face discrimination or bullying. So, yun na nga, yung during adolescence daw, yung mga young people, um, nag, nagpo-form yung sexual identity nila, which is yun na nga, yung na-attract daw sila sa opposite gender nila or sometimes sa the same gender. Tsaka kung ano yung napifeel nila about sex. And then, yung sexual orientation can be attraction to the opposite sex. Kapag na-attract ka daw sa mga hindi mo katulad na gender, which is opposite, kabaliktaran, tinatawag itong heterosexual. Kapag na-attract ka naman sa same sex or girl to girl, boy to boy na ganyan, na-attract ka, tinatawag siyang homosexual or both bisexual. Kapag na-attract ka naman sa girl or na-attract ka din sa boy, parang wala kang pinipili, basta attracted ka sa dalawang gender. They called it bisexual. Kasi nako-confuse daw sila, especially yung mga gay, lesbian, tsaka yung transgender. Kasi pinifigure out pa nila yung kanilang identity. So, yan na process is hindi talaga madali or mahirap para sa kanila. Kasi, lalong-lalo na sa family nila kapag hindi sanay na ganun yung gender nila kasi paglabas sa kanila lalaki or babae tapos yun pag lumaki na sila is na-change yung gender nila which is nagiging gay or lesbian sila or bisexual man. And then of course sa culture din hindi tayo sanay 'di ba na medyo maraming pakalat-kalat na mga ibang gender like katulad na lang ng gay at saka yung tinatawag nilang tomboy. And most especially sa society natin, which is hindi pa talaga nila gaanong tanggap dati yun, hindi nila talaga tanggap yung mga bakla dito sa mundo, which is ang layo na ngayon kasi mas natatanggap na nila yung ibang gender, mga transgender, mga ibang gender like gay or lesbian. So yun, LGBT teens may face discrimination or bullying. So, yun yung piniface nila na parang binubully talaga sila ng society kasi parang hindi nila tanggap ba na merong mga bakla or lesbian na pakalat-kalat dito. So, I think that's all to my part kasi yung self-esteem is to be discussed by Miss Paran.
So, good day everyone. So, self-esteem. Self-esteem is a very part of identity formation during adolescence. It refers to one's thoughts and feelings about their self-concept and identity. While overall, self-esteem remains stable, barometric self-esteem may fluctuate rapidly during this stage Girls often build self-esteem through supportive friends and moral support, while boys derive it from independence and influencing others. A lack of romantic competence or failure in relationships can lower esteem, especially in boys' breakups, affecting both genders, but girls are more likely to experience depression while boys have a higher risk of suicide. So, ang self-esteem is yung nagpapahalaga sa sarili ay mahalaga sa pagbuo ng pagkakakilanlan sa adolescence. Ito ay tumutukoy sa isip at nararamdaman ng tao tungkol sa kanyang sarili. So, halimbawa daw, sa babae, lumalakas ang self-esteem nila kapag may suporta mula sa mga kaibigan at mayroong moral support. At kung sa lalaki naman, kadalasan naman ay makukuha ang self-esteem sa pagiging independent at pagkakaroon ng impluensya sa iba. So, next, implicating for childcare education and parenting. To meet the physical development of adolescents, children, parents need to be aware of manifestation of behavior. Parents that require closer communication, guide, and support the teen. And support. The teen is especially addicted to modern gadgets for music, listening video games, mobile phone communication, and social media posting. This activity causes short sleeping time and may contribute to increased levels of daytime drowsiness, sleeping problems, and depressions. In school, teachers need to be aware of the possible drop in self-esteem among adolescent learners. The teacher support is crucial to protect adolescent learners against serve, serve, serve distress and anxiety over the schoolwork and social relationship. So sa adolescents daw, mahalaga na ang magulang ay nagbibigay gabay at suporta lalo't na yung mga anak nila ay madalas na addict sa mga gadget, social media at games na nagdudulot ng kulang sa kanilang tulog at minsan depression. At sa paaralan naman, kailangan din nilang suportahan ang mga guro ang mga estudyante nila upang maiwasan ang pagbababa ng self-esteem nila. So dapat tayong mga or sa ating mga magulang, kailangan nating bantayan ang ating mga anak kung ano ang ginagawa nila. Kailangan natin silang i-guide kung ano ba yung gagawin nila. Hindi natin papabayaan yung kahit ano-ano lang yung ginagawa nila. Like wala na kayong pakialam sa anak niyo nag-social media. Dapat bantayan din natin sila para malaman natin na okay lang ba or something na kamustahin natin ang ating mga anak na kamusta na ba kayo? Anong balita sa eskwelahan? Ano nang nangyari? Dapat kinakamusta niyo yung anak niyo. So, adolescence and nutrition. It is necessary for adolescents to have sufficient amount of vitamins B12, calcium, zinc, riboflavin, and vitamin D. The vegetarian fact can be disastrous to adolescents who need vitamins, mineral, and protein, which purely vegetables diets can provide. Vegetables are good, but this should be balanced with food intake that form high quality nutrition, including protein source in milk, dairy products, and eggs. Poor eating habits is manifested by often skipping meals frequently, taking of snack food like hamburger, fries, pizza, soft drinks, etc. at fast food eateries. So kailangan ng mga kabataan yung sapat na vitamina at mineral tulad daw ng vitamin B12, zinc, calcium, iron, riboflavin, and vitamin D. Kasi kasi hindi dapat natin sosobra ang pag-asa sa pagkain ng gulay dahil may maaaring magdulot na kakulangan sa nutrisyon dahil kulang ito sa protina na nakukuha sa gatas, dairy products, at itlog. Mahalaga ang gulay pero dapat balanse ang pagkain. Isa ring maling gawin ang madalas na pag-skip ng meals. Katulad ng estudyante, 'di ba kadalasan nag-skip tayo ng meals dahil hindi ka gusto malate sa paaralan. Like hindi ka na kumakain ng ng breakfast mo dahil ayaw mo malate sa eskwela. Tapos, pagkadalasan pa, kahit hindi ka kumain ng breakfast, yung mag-recess ka yung time ng recess nyo, dun ka kumakain ng soft drinks, fries, soft drinks, yung mga soft drinks, yung mga isaw dun sa labas, at yung mga junk foods. Dapat iwasan natin yan dahil hindi yan nagdudulot ng kabutihan o hindi yan nabibigay ng nutrition sa ating katawan. So, body image and adolescence. Consciousness about body image is strong during the adolescence period. It is important that adolescents feel confident about how they look, but the physical feature of the human body, facial looks, body size, color, skin, etc., depend of genetic heritage, which must be respected. However, there is more body image than physical looks, and this concerns good habits and their relation to cleanliness and grooming, proper wearing clothes according to current style, erect body posture, eye contact while communicating, and decorum good for the confidence and deficiency. So, dito sa body image, hindi lang daw na nabubuo ito sa ating is importante ito sa atin na mag-build tayo ng confidence, hindi lang sa ating hindi lang sa ating katawan or something sa adolescent, malakas sa pagmalay sa body image. So, mahalaga pagkakaroon ng tiwala ang kabataan sa kanilang itsura kahit nakadepende ito sa genetics. Katulad ng sinabi dito, yung itsura, laki ng katawan at kulay ng balat. Pero, hindi lang sa physical looks nakabase ang body image. Mahalaga rin ang mabuting gawa gaya ng paglinis, maayos na pananamit, tamang tindig, eye contact sa pagkikipag-usap at pagkakaroon ng respeto at kumpiyansa sa sarili. So halimbawa na lang dito, isang dalagitan na hindi masyadong maganda ang tindig, pero dahil maayos at marunong siyang makipag-usap ng may eye contact at palaging malinis, nagiging maganda pa rin ang tingin ng iba sa kanya. So, yung body image, hindi lang yung based sa ating itsura or something like ano ba yung sa ating mga hawak sa katawan. So, based dito sa yung mga paano tayo maglinis at yung anong ginagawa natin sa bahay. So, that ends our topic. So, thank you and God bless.